Welcome, everyone. Another day and another Dominion scandal. It should be no surprise to anyone that we're talking about our favorite electronic voting machine provider. This time in Arizona, where Giuliani has been carrying out a hearing. Sworn testimonies indicate some overt vote tampering has been going on with the machines. And I'm sure, once again, this will be largely ignored by the mainstream media. Also, our friends at CNN have been doing some investigative journalism, it seems. Surprised, so am I. They've discovered that China have been hiding and lying about their COVID-19 numbers. That part I'm not so surprised about. That's what we're talking about today. This is Political, still on our Election 2020 series until all of this is figured out and sorted out. A big welcome to everyone joining us today. If you haven't already, please do consider, as always, subbing to the channel. Hit the notification button, lets you know whenever we release a new video. And give us a like as well, obviously. It helps us with the algorithm. And comments down below as well. We'd love to hear what you say. Most importantly, and we always say this, best thing you can do is share the video if you want to help us out. Helps us spread the message to a wider audience, especially on things that people might not know about otherwise. So, yeah, please do. Best thing you can do, share the video. Just before we jump into this one today, very quickly, I'd just like to give a quick shout out to our longtime viewer, Alan H., who recently told us he's starting a channel of his own. So we've left that in the description. We just wanted to add that in as a thank you for the support he's given us. Also, as well, if anyone else watching has their own channel or is thinking about starting a channel, let us know. Of course, we're happy to help you out. Love to, help spread your channel and give you support. Anyone in the community, and maybe even do things like collaborations and stuff like that in the future. Who knows? But yeah, so let's just jump into this one then, Connie. You've got an article for us about China.
Yes. Yeah, so we have an article here from The Blaze talking about, as you said, the CNN exclusive. Now, we would prefer not to give traffic to CNN. We would prefer to give it to our friends at Bloomberg. Here it is. CNN. Leaked documents prove that China underreported COVID-19 numbers. CNN reported Monday that a trove of leaked internal documents from China prove that the communist nation underreported COVID-19 numbers in the early stages of the outbreak. The news confirms what US officials have believed for months. China did not tell the truth about the severity of the pandemic from the beginning. In its exclusive report, CNN revealed details from 117 pages of documents verified by experts to have come from the Hubei, a provincial centre for disease control and prevention. The city of Wuhan, where the virus was first discovered, is the capital of Hubei province. The documents show that on February 10th, there are more than 5,900 new cases of coronavirus in the province, but officials reported that there are only 3,911. February 17th, Chinese officials reported that there were 93 COVID-19 deaths, but the documents showed there are actually 196, more than twice what the government disclosed. So China has been underreporting the infection rate and the death rate. Now, why is this relevant? It's relevant because it proves that for China, image is everything, and that they're willing to lie and cheat as much as possible to keep that image pristine. But the effects of China's clinging to its image are disastrous for us, because when the rest of the world are trying to work out what this thing was, how to combat it, and how to fight this virus, China was lying to us and providing us with false data. And let's bear in mind, it's the Chinese dictatorship that caused the virus in the first place. Now, I'm not saying it's a engineered virus or anything, but authoritarian systems of government promote a lack of transparency, openness, and secretness at every level. If you're a local party official and your promotion is based on what your superiors think of you, you're not going to be honest and open about a plague starting on your watch, are you? So just by having an authoritarian system of government, China's responsible in allowing this thing to get out of hand to such a degree that it did. Now, I don't know what you think of this, Ian. In my mind, I think it's fair that China should pay reparations to the rest of the world for this, all the heartbreak in this.
Yeah, it's really interesting. This article's come out today, and this has been discovered recently. I mean, it's no surprise really to anyone. I think, when China were talking about how, oh yes, we've got the virus, a big, huge nation like China, hugely dense populations are saying, basically they've had the virus under control within a couple of months, and they were reporting no new infections. That's, fairly early on, while many of us were still, deep into lockdowns at that point, at our peaks, essentially. in terms of the spread. So it's absolutely no surprise to anyone. Anyone can look at the figures and realize that they were doctored. And I imagine they're probably even more doctored than this. So that bit really, I suppose, is not even really the issue here. The issue is, like you said, if this virus had come out of, I don't know, somewhere like Italy, you know, where obviously they were one of the first one of the first countries after China to really face it to a serious degree, their government would have been transparent. And they would have said, look, we've got this situation. We're not sure what it is. We've noticed a number of elderly people, especially, filling up the hospitals with pneumonia. And we've done some tests, and we think it might be like a new strand of coronavirus, okay? And they would have been, we're recommending that everyone shuts down all traffic into our borders. We're not going to be, we're going to close down the airlines. We're going to close down this. We're going to try and contain it in this one area because we don't know how deadly it could be, and we don't know how contagious it is. And everyone would have worked with them, I'm sure, in Europe, obviously, especially. And it probably would have been contained. Maybe, might not, but it might have been. But they would have been trusted, been transparent. Instead, in China, what happened was the virus was rampaging through, I forget the area where it first started, the
Wuhan
province. Was it, sorry, Wuhan, yeah. So it started there, and I remember there were doctors coming out, working in hospitals, and they were like trying to warn people. They were trying to warn people, and they were quickly taken away, arrested, and sent away to prison. Hidden away. No, there's nothing going on. It's fine. And that was happening for, I think, a couple of months, actually, before we realized what was going on. And in those couple of months, they could have changed everything. If the rest of the world had known about this, then everything could have been different than it is right now. So the crime that they're guilty of, like you say, it's reparations. For a start, because what they've done is just so criminal, and anyone else, any other country, any Western country of a democracy, if they did this, they would just be ostracized from the rest of society. All other countries would be no longer doing anything with them, sanctioning them in every possible conceivable way that they can. There's really not many worse crimes you can do on an international level than covering up a pandemic that then spreads throughout the globe. So, and this is why it was so important that Donald Trump won the election, because we needed a leader of the free world who we knew was not afraid to force China to pay the price for this. And instead, we may very well could end up with one who certainly got very dodgy connections with China to begin with, but also is just weak in general. And that's incredibly worrying. And that's the biggest issue for me.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of kind of threats to democracy and that sort of thing, and dodgy elections, as we would do with China, you've got an article on that, haven't you?
Yeah, so of course Giuliani's been doing this hearing. He's been doing hearings. He did one obviously in Pennsylvania earlier on. He's doing one in Arizona. It's just been happening yesterday, where obviously they've had some of these people who've had first-hand experience, accounting and whatnot, at the election in Maricopa County specifically, because that's where the majority of the population is in Arizona. And so we've seen some of the affidavits now and the sworn testimonies of some of the people. Here's one of them that's just very, very alarming. So I'll read out some of the quotes that she said in her affidavit. So Maricopa County Chairwoman Linda Brickman yesterday testified that members of the Arizona State Legislature that she personally observed votes for President Donald Trump being tallied as votes for Democrat presidential nominee Joe Biden when input into the Dominion machines. I observed with my Democratic partner the preparation of a new ballot since the original one was soiled or wouldn't go through the tabulators. I read her Trump Republican ballot, and as soon as she entered it into the system, the ballot defaulted on the screen to a Biden Democratic ballot. We were never told what, if any, corrective action was taken. All I know is the next day I was called outside the room that I was working in for signature verification by a supervisor who said, I understand that you caused some problems this week and that you thought our machines were not working correctly. I was told at that point in time that I could not discuss anything or talk about what was going on. Many people were threatened. They were told that their voices would be suppressed. They would have to leave the room and would not work there again. I'm here because I think this is our duty to speak the truth. And she's right. The lies and smears have no basis, in fact, but they do real damage to our democracy by casting doubt on the legitimacy of the election process. The false accusations should be retracted immediately. This is coming from the Dominion CEO John Paulus. And, you know, why is it then that everywhere we go, and we said this yesterday, every single state, it seems, every single swing state, they've all got Dominion voting machines, and we're just hearing story after story about there was some dodgy thing that happened with them. They didn't calculate the votes properly, or they shifted this vote to this vote. And every single time when we look in and we go, well, what was the issue? Oh, it's a Dominion voting machine. Now, it could just be a huge coincidence. That's fine. I mean, I guess it's possible. They are used all over the state. They are used all over the country. But surely it just must set alarm bells, and we keep saying this, but it must set alarm bells for people, and they go, well, hold on, why do we keep hearing about Dominion? We really, really do need to investigate here. We just saw yesterday of the server being removed. The server was removed, so they can't even audit it properly. And of course, you know, the CEO, however, they're going to defend themselves. Oh no, nothing. We've definitely not done anything wrong. That's not good enough. You can't audit yourself and then go, yes, we've investigated our own actions. We didn't do anything wrong. There needs to be a real investigation. All of their equipment needs to be taken away and looked at by an intelligence agency that actually have a good reputation for doing a proper job.
Yeah, I mean, it's very clear, isn't it? Dominion, they're nothing more than a threat to democracy. Like, how can anyone look at the flood of allegations against these machines and simply hand wave this away? It's happened in Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Huge stories about Dominion, and let's be honest, there'll be many stories, but in most of these 30 states they're used in, it doesn't really matter because the vote is never going to change, right? Like if you go to like Montana, you know that the Democrats are never going to win. Now, Arizona, key battleground state, guess what? More Dominion problems. The whole point of an election is to establish a winner and ensure that the race is conducted in such a really fair manner and that those on the losing side accept that the winner won fair and square. And now Dominion, they've absolutely tanked any chance of the latter. They've ensured that Conservatives are unable to accept that Biden won fairly. Now, if this election took place anywhere else in the world, let's say in Russia, for example, Alexei Navalny narrowly beaten by Vladimir Putin, and with such claims of fraud and this voting machine that's dodgy everywhere, the US would be calling for a recount and be saying it's unfair. Well, why not here? I think we know why not here, because the mainstream media and the establishment has a big interest in Joe Biden winning. I think we've said all there is to say this week. Thanks so much for listening. Again, do check out our subscribers channel. We'll leave all the details in the description below. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks very much, and we'll see you again next time.